All that still to come, but let's start here. And it's been quite an eventful day for the small town of Senekal in the Free State. There was a standoff between EFF and farmers in the town before the court appearance of two men accused of killing a farm manager. The EFF went to protest in Senekal today following a violent protest by farmers during the suspect's first appearance a few weeks ago. ENCA's Govind Whittles has been covering the story all day today and joins us now. Hi there, Govind. So Julius Malema, the EFF leader, has just finished addressing the crowd. It has been a really busy day. Just tell us what the main message of Julius Malema was.
Well, he touched on a number of issues, Sally, and the underlying theme was, as it always is, land expropriation. And the EFF says it came here to confront white arrogance and also to make it a point that it believes that the only type of murders that require a specialist unit should be the women and children who are being murdered on a daily basis in South Africa. Went as far as saying he doesn't believe that there are any farmers being killed. Of course, we know that to be a blatant lie by the EFF leader, but it's political points, and it's something that was expected from Julius Malema here today. He had also gone on to say that he had a message for all of the other white South Africans, and saying that they are not necessarily enemies of the EFF, and that the EFF loves white people who can appreciate that they need to share everything they have in the country. But he said that the people who are the EFF's enemies are former apartheid generals and those who refuse to share the land. He also made a pointed note about the former apartheid colonel, that's Frans Jooste, who showed up here in Browns and their green beret, the full former SADF uniform, and saying that those are the people that the EFF are looking for, because those are the people that they want to confront. Let's have a look now at what Julius Malema had to say about the use of farm murders and farm attacks to deflect from expropriation of land without compensation.
Let me tell you why we are here. These white Boers are not here because of the farm murder. They are here to use this farm murder to address the issue of the land. They think they can use this farm murder to intimidate us, to stop talking about the land, to move away from demanding the land, because in their memorandum the last time they were here, they said to Ramaphosa, their adopted son, stop talking about the land. We will never stop talking about the land. We are tired of talking about the land. We want to move into the land. We want to occupy the land. We want to own the land. We want to produce food for ourselves. Why do you keep on saying white farmers produce food for us? We don't want their food. We want to produce food for ourselves. We've got capacity to produce food for ourselves.
Govind, I want to, before we get to what AfriForum said, I know that you spoke to that colonel that Julius Malema was referring to. I actually listened to you interview him, and the colonel was saying that they wear those SADF uniforms with pride because they actually won the war and were sold out by the politicians. That is hardly something that is an attitude that would be welcomed in the democratic South Africa. So you can understand why Julius Malema picked up on that. But despite those edges, those fringes, would you say it's been a relatively peaceful day and that the police plan to keep things calm was successful?
Yeah, the police's intervention certainly played a huge role here, as well as the designated areas for protest for the EFF and for AfriForum, despite some of those more radical farmers deciding to come confront the EFF outside of the farmers' designated area and inside of the EFF protest. There really wasn't any potential for conflict or any conflict that occurred. At one point, two motorbikes drove into the EFF protest and the fighters pushed them off their bike. And then following that, some rocks and bottles were thrown in between. But the kind of fear that was here in the week on Tuesday when we spoke to the people has certainly subsided, and what they thought would happen, which was an all-out confrontation between basically farmers and the EFF, was avoided. Things are really calm right now, and much of that is thanks to the police.
Let's have a listen to that bite from AfriForum when you spoke to them a little earlier.
A lot of people recognize Julius Malema as an opportunist and someone that wants to create political tension through capturing this very heinous event that took place. So we see that as the opportunist that it is. But the importance is to not back down on the message. And therefore we are here today, where these people that are accused will come to apply for bail again or not. So yes, we can't back down on the message, and therefore we said, let us rather create a peaceful middle ground where the normal peace-loving South African can come and listen to sensible debates and sensible talks about this issue, and not about the politics and the opportunism that Julius Malema is advocating for.
So lots of action, but all of this actually was centred around the appearance in court, the second appearance of the two suspects in the murder of farm manager Brendan Horner. Tell us what happened in court with that process.
So the bail application was heard, and they went through the affidavits of both suspects. They also heard testimony from the person who did the post-mortem on Brendan Horner, which revealed that the blood of 3 other people were found nearby as well. So all of that still needs to go for testing. And at this point, the accused have indicated their intention to plead not guilty, although there has been some evidence which links them to this murder which happened, and points in the direction that they may have been the alleged killers. That's, of course, why they were arrested in the first place. But the case has been postponed until Tuesday. That's when we expect to hear the closing arguments as well as the judgment.
Thank you very much. That's our reporter, Govan Whittles, who has spent the day in Senekal in the Free State.